Hey guys, it's the MetalBlade 5, and welcome back to another MetalBlade theory, and this theory is in regards to the recurring Pokemon character, Looker. Looker is a character that I actually like a lot because he's very different from other Pokemon characters due to being very mysterious and actually having a dark storyline in X and Y. Plus, he's a reference to Doctor Who, since he's designed partially after David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, which is my favorite incarnation. He fights against Team Galactic in his first appearance, and Dialga and Palkia are the Pokemon of time and space, respectively. But one big question remains about Looker. What is his origin? Looker's backstory is never touched upon at all. Even in the anime, Looker didn't appear in many episodes, and still we learned nothing about his past. Now, this theory wasn't actually made by myself. This theory is actually expanding upon a theory about Looker that I came across, made by a Pokemon theorist named Ovi? Is that how you pronounce it? So even though I am expanding this theory, all credit goes to him. So what did Ovi suggest in his theory? Well, first, like he does in the video, it's best to cover all of Looker's appearances throughout the series because this will help later. Looker first appeared in Pokemon Platinum near the beginning of the game in Jubilife City, in which he reveals that he is an international police officer who is hunting down Team Galactic, while also not speaking in proper English for some reason. Looker's next appearance is in the post-game of Pokemon Black and White, where he is now searching for the 6 sages of Team Plasma to question them about Getsus. Then Looker appears in the post-game of X and Y, in which he is hunting down Xerosic, the head scientist of Team Flare, and seeking to avenge his dead Pokemon, which is probably referring to his Krogunk. Finally, Looker's most recent and most important appearance when concerning this theory is in Oris. Once again, in the post-game, Looker appears at the battle resort, washed up on the beach where he is suffering from amnesia, and gives you an Audinite after a woman living at the resort helps him. And that's it. That's all he does in the game. Now, as Ovi mentions, there are a number of theories speculating what happened to Looker which gave him amnesia. For example, some theorize that Hoopa used its powers to teleport him through time and space, which would fit with him being a reference to Doctor Who. However, there is, in my opinion, a much simpler explanation for how Looker ended up on the beach. As Looker had been washed up on the beach, and the game even states that he was soaking wet when you find him, it would suggest that Looker was in the ocean, probably falling off a boat and hitting his head in the process, leading to his amnesia. Now, you would think that due to the order of the games that Looker would have been on the Royal Unova from Black and White, as it is said to be the most famous ship in the Pokemon world. However, in the Oceanic Museum in Oris, when examining the model of the Royal Unova, it says that it is currently under construction, meaning that Oris takes place before Black and White, meaning that Looker's appearances aren't in chronological order. But just next to the Royal Unova is a model of the SS Anne from Pokemon Red and Blue, which says that it's actually currently sailing around the world. In Ovi's video, he ends it off by showing one crucial piece of evidence to the theory, which is that in Pokemon Red and Blue, there is an NPC on the SS Anne who tells you that he is a global police agent. You can obviously see where this is going. The theory suggests that this NPC is actually Looker. Now, there is one thing you're all probably thinking, but that's the sprite of a gentleman trainer. It looks nothing like Looker. But one thing I haven't mentioned about Looker in this video is that he is also a master of disguise. In Pokemon Platinum, he disguises himself as a Team Galactic grunt and a rock at one point. In Black and White, he disguises himself as your mum, and even in the anime, Looker wears disguises. So it's entirely possible that this gentleman is actually Looker in a disguise. Now we come to the part where I expand upon this theory. I believe that Looker fell off the SS Anne as it was sailing somewhere in Hoenn. He hit his head and got amnesia, and he washed up on the beach in the battle resort. And I believe that this is Looker's origin. Another way in which Looker is a reference to Doctor Who is that you never learn his real name. He's always referred to as Looker, which is his code name. However, I think that he has his code name because of the amnesia. In Oris, Looker says he has no idea who he is, so I think that he eventually remembered that he was a police officer, possibly from seeing a police badge on him or something, but couldn't remember his real name, in which he came up with the name Looker. Now, this does sound like a stretch, but to present my evidence, in Platinum, he says he'll give you his code name rather than his real name. He's like, my real name, no. My code name, it is Looker. which could be because he can't remember. But my main evidence comes from the contrast between meeting him in Platinum and meeting him in X and Y. When you meet Looker in X and Y, he says that Looker is his name. He goes, "My name, it is Looker." Which to me suggests that he gave up trying to remember his real name and just made Looker his new name. This would also suggest why Looker's backstory is never touched upon, because he can't remember it. And this part is just speculation, but this could also be why he cared about his Croagunk so much. Not just because it was his own Pokemon, but maybe it was also his only memento of his previous life, other than his job. Now, another interesting thing about Looker is, as I mentioned earlier, in Platinum, he doesn't speak in proper English, and it's never explained why. Ovi believes that it's because he's not native to Sinnoh and doesn't know the language. However, I disagree with that, since the regions in Pokemon are never stated to have different languages. Except for maybe Kalos, since there's some French-speaking guys and there's one random German NPC in X and Y. The only thing I can think for this could link back to the amnesia, which is a shaky statement since he does speak in proper English in Oris after immediately suffering from amnesia. Unless it's a result of him trying to speak longer sentences after gaining amnesia, but it's the only thing I can think of. Because, again, they never give you a reason why Looker doesn't speak proper English in Platinum. And that's it. There really isn't that much to talk about in this video, since Looker's appearances in the games are very short aside from X and Y, which doesn't even delve into anything that could support or debunk this theory. So as always, this is just a theory and not fact, and we will just have to wait and see if Looker appears in Pokemon Sun and Moon to see if it gives us any more potential evidence to prove or disprove this theory, or just find anything else about Looker's possible past.